me see your ass.
Huh?
Let me see your ass.
My ass?
Yeah, I'm serious.
I don't have much of one. You get older, they disappear.
Do you got wrinkles in it?
No.
Take those jeans off so I can really see it.
Oh, you really want to see it?
Yeah, I really want to see it.
What will be going on
Governor,
in that White House?
I'll be like, Mr. President, I need to see your ass.
All I know is I started walking down dark alleys again when they put Martha in prison because I felt safe.
Think of this for a moment. What was Columbus trying to do when he came here? He was looking for another way to India, right? So way back then, why? They didn't want to go through the Middle East. Do we need anything more? I mean, this guy at science then said you'd fall off the earth, it was flat. He was willing to risk that to stay out of the Middle East. I rest my case.
If I were offered, number one, to go to a drinking party or to go to a pot party, I would choose the pot party for 3 reasons. The chances of violence will be slim and none. At the drinking party, about 50-50. Pot party, nobody's going to throw up on me. Drinking party, it can happen. Pot party, you can do it till 3 in the morning, get up at 7 and have a good day at work. Drinking party, drink till 3, you'll never get up at 7 and have a good day at work. Where are we? Well, in my opinion, election-wise, there's an old military saying called FUBAR. And unfortunately, Ed, I can't break that down for you because we're a family television station.
That's for sure.
You ever see how fast they all age? I mean, Bill Clinton went in with beautiful dark hair, and by the time he got out, it's as white as snow. Barack Obama's hair is already turning white. Well, I don't have to worry about that. Mine's already gone. But, I mean, you're still going to age. I would predict you age 4 years for every 1 year in there. So, you know, and plus my wife of 38 years, she don't like it. She don't want me doing it.
But Jesse, you got the body of 3 20-year-olds. There's no better man.
Not quite that. I've had to replace my hip. You know, 20-year-olds don't go through that. But stop yelling now. Let's keep this under control.
Is wealth really the taboo, or is the real problem with what the 1% is doing with that wealth?
I would say it's what they're doing with the wealth. Why would you need to see a therapist if you're worth $50 million?
Because you feel guilty about it.
Well, then give it away. You won't feel guilty. Are you kidding me? They have a therapist for people who are worth over $50 million to help them Are you for real on that?
Yes, that's a true story, and she's training more people in her own image.
That is astounding to me. You have mental trouble you got to see a therapist for if you're worth 50. Abraham, if you had $50 million, would you need to see a therapist? Abraham says no, he wouldn't need no therapist. What in the hell? That's astounding to me. They have to see therapists because they're worth $50 million bucks?
Well, maybe at least they'll feel better after they hear that Congress is about to shower more tax breaks.
I remember I was on Larry King once with Senator Alan Simpson, and he was expounding the two-party system to me. And to Larry King, and I didn't say a word, and Larry finally said, "Governor, what do you think of the two-party system?" I said, "I think it's phenomenal. We get one more choice than communist Russia."
Do you know what a few years ago, you know what the most popular T-shirt I saw with young people wearing in Mexico?
Che Guevara?
No. I only wish Che Guevara.
Made in USA.
It was a picture of George Bush and it said weapon of mass destruction.
Republicans are not a political party, it's a mental condition. A good friend of mine wanted me to make sure I said that tonight, so I got it out there.
Here's some good news. Cruz is a potential GOP candidate in 2016. What do you make of that, Jesse?
I think that would be wonderful to have him as the GOP candidate, because that would ensure if I came back, I could win. Yeah, if I wanted to go for it.
Trust me, I am not homophobic. You can look at my record as governor. I got rights for gay workers, state workers in the state of Minnesota, who the Democrats, 2 years after I was out of office, bargained them right back to the Republicans, so now they're back with no rights. So I wanted to state that I am not homophobic at all, but when I pass through this and am required to be searched now and where they touch me, I want a woman doing it. And yet, wait, I'm not given that choice. There is no choice out there. Men go with men, women with women. And, to me, unless that man is a doctor, which none of them are, they're minimum wage workers, I am not going to be touched like that. I just wrote a recent book where I saw Gary last week that's out there called The Democrats and the Republicans, subtitled No More Games in Government. And I made the comparison between, and I do apologize to the Crips and Bloods for putting them into that company, but I felt it was needed and I hope they'll understand. But they've even gone so far, they've stolen the gang's colors. Because when you're in a gang, you have what are called colors. I know, I was in one in my youth. I was an outlaw biker. You guys want a great diet? Switch to water. Eat what you want. Just only drink water. There's an old saying in bodybuilding. Get all your calories from what you eat, not what you drink. Old saying. And I guarantee if you do that, you'll see pounds just fall off you. And what's great about it, then you can eat more pie, you can eat more of this other stuff.
Any connection, you think, between Bilderberg, Rothschild, and the big international people?
I don't know. I'm a little bit disappointed, personally. How come when I won governor, I wasn't invited to the Bilderberg? Had I gone, I could probably sit here and tell you all about it. That's probably why I wasn't invited. Because I would have come out and told people about it. What goes on at this big meeting, of the Bilderberg. So, again, I feel a little offended. I mean, do you think if I become president, I'll get invited? No. I'm not sure. You're talking to a former Copenhagen addict. Can a day for 20 years. Can of Copenhagen a day for 20 years till I cold turkey quit it. But there's a product, when used properly, end result, death. Simple. Use it the way they tell you to use it, end result, death. And that will finish on a fun note. How many people drink city water? How many people know that they put fluoride in your water, right? It's for your teeth, right? So you have good, strong teeth and da-da-da-da-da. Well, isn't that your mom and dad's job? Teach you how to use mouthwash and brush your teeth when you're a kid? People have often asked me, you could have been reelected governor for a second term. Why didn't you do it? And one of the reasons why, and I tell people honestly, being with Democrats and Republicans, which I had to be with as the independent between the two of them, I said their system is so corrupt that at the end of 4 years, the best thing I can describe to you, you feel like you need a shower.
Yeah.
Have you ever had one of those jobs where you worked at it as a young, and you come home and I need a shower?
Well,
that's what it's like.
Well, I had two of those jobs. I was a corporate lawyer, and I worked at MSNBC.
I have a history with them.
I know.
So why are we spending this money on defense? Like when 25, shut those damn phones. I want you to think of this as a green on a golf course. Cell phones banned, shut them off. I've never owned one, nor will I ever. I'll put it on my grave now. It's a life thing. I want to put, he never owned a cell phone. And I'll bet when I do that, I'll be the only one on the planet. Oh, you'll get one. Oh, yeah, you will. Something will make you. If I were an employer in the United States, and if I dealt with cement, you could bet I would hire every illegal Mexican I could, because the guys that work in cement down here are not cement workers, they're artists. I've seen them in action. They're unbelievable. And so when it comes to that type of work, I would hire the Mexican in a New York second, excuse my pun. Or a Mexico City second. Maybe that's better. And I'm also helping to solve illegal immigration at the same time. Would you like to hear how?
Well, let's hear. Yeah. What's your solution?
I'm down here now in Latin America employing Latinos. So I'm creating jobs for them. And they've all assured me that if I didn't do this, they would sneak across our border and they'd be up getting jobs in America illegally. So I'm putting them to work down here so they can stay with their families and they don't have to run to America to try to feed their families.
Well, that brings me to another.
Say that's right, Mr. Hannity.
Mister, you're not my officer.
I'm not. Jesse, the body. Good to see you. Do you have a good time?
I'm done already? This is it?
That's it.
Jeez, you didn't even get to any good topics.
Because you insist on going over the old topic, and I knew you'd do this.
I said if Ron Paul would quit the Republicans, I would give it serious. I didn't say I would, but I said I'd give serious consideration to running with him.
Did you get any response from his camp on that?
No, nothing yet. I don't expect to. You know, it's just something. It's you know, no different than Donald Trump saying it.
Oh, well, what did you learn as your time as governor?
What do you think of Michelle Bachmann?
She's my congresswoman. I don't think about her.
Do you think about anybody who would represent you in Congress? Would you think about her if she were someone else?
I don't know. Maybe. But getting back to the book, you're getting off. I'm here to promote the book. Then I'll tell you the best story, which is in the book also. I'm ruining the book.
How many people know who George Washington was? How many people know who Thomas Jefferson was? Do you know if they lived today, they would probably be raided by the DEA. They would be doing 10 to 12 years in the federal penitentiary today as being major drug dealers. Because Washington and Jefferson both grew massive quantities of marijuana and sold it. That makes you a drug dealer. Now, they still, with all this marijuana they were growing, right? They still managed to put together these documents, didn't they? Called the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. So if they were all stoned and they still managed to do that, that's kind of a positive thing, don't you think? If it's what they told us, why would they hide documents and film from us? That's what I always question. If the official story is official, and not just to protect officials, that's why they call it the official story. People say they want the truth, but when you hit them with the truth, sometimes it disturbs their comfort zone, and people don't like their comfort zone disturbed. That's why I get heat, because I disturb comfort zones. Yale University apparently has every year the top 10 quotes of the year, and I made it with what I said, and here's what I said. I said, if you give me Dick Cheney a waterboard in 1 hour, I'll have him confess to the Sharon Tate murders. Why didn't we waterboard McVeigh and Nichols? We had them. In fact, we put one of them to death and the others in prison for life. Why weren't they waterboarded? To find out what they knew.
What do you think of Guantanamo Bay?
You haven't asked my question, Piers.
I'm not answering any of the questions.
Well, the point is, but it's a good question, isn't it? Why were these guys waterboarded and these guys not waterboarded?
No, but remember the dynamic of the interview, Jesse. I'm interviewing you.
All right.
It's your views I'm trying to get.
Remember, I've been in your seat, so it's hard.
Of course.
So apparently leaking this is more important than committing murder.
Like I said to you.
Wait, Piers, answer that for me.
No, let me.
Answer that for me.
You haven't answered my question.
All right.
My question
But I've been answering all of them. You haven't answered one yet.
I'm interviewing you, Jesse. That's the way this works.
Not with me.
Well, that's the way it works with me.
Well, butt heads then. Well, and Dick worked very closely and many times with the CIA, whom we in the SEALs lovingly call Christians in action. That's our slang term for the CIA. We call them Christians in action. Hey, we're SEALs, come on. You know, we're not your normal run-of-the-mill. Don't know better. Yeah, we don't know any better. Do these people really believe Jesus would have persecuted gay people? I don't. And then let's take it a step farther. Remember all the controversy when there was the Da Vinci Code, where they wrote this story that Jesus may have fathered a child, that there could be a descendant from Jesus in the world? And of course, the religious world was outraged. No, this didn't happen. No, 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 no. Jesus never did that. If you're hetero, I think I'd have preferred to allow the Da Vinci Code to be true. If you look at Jesus then, if he didn't father a child and if he had no relationships with women, he was only surrounded by the 12 disciples, huh? And he was 33 years old when he died? 12 disciples, all men? That sounds a little gay to me. Of course, I could be wrong on that, of course, but they're telling us that he didn't have sex with women and the Da Vinci Code ain't true. Well, then is the other true? I don't know. Just don't seem to be that many women around. It was 12 guys. Kind of like a locker room, huh? Here's another scenario. Think of this, Alex. If 10% of the world is gay and there were 12 disciples plus Jesus, that's a total of 13. That means one of them had to be.
Well, maybe it was Judas.
Ah, very good. The traitor. That's who we'd label. Judas must have been gay. Had to be. Had to be Judas. He's got to be the gay one of the bunch. Even that one's got me laughing on that one. Alex, you outdid yourself. We better switch places on that one.
Patricia from San Marcos, Texas says, I don't agree with same-sex marriage. I am totally against it because it is an abomination to the Lord.